I think more than anything, a mayor needs to sit down with our partners, with the alliance and with the partnerships and with the mayors of other communities, and again work with them to create an environment that makes Fort Wayne, Allen County, and Northeast Indiana an inviting environment for jobs to come.
A lot of people are frustrated. What are you frustrated about?
I think the slowness of government. Many of us have business backgrounds. Many of the legislators do. Obviously, I do as well. I'm used to making decisions. Once it gets a 51% in my favor, we try to move forward. In government, the process is a little bit slower than that. There's a lot of checks and balances in place. But because of that, it moves a lot slower than I would like to see.
From your chair, what would you like to see from Washington that could spur economic growth here in Fort Wayne?
In the economic development aspect primarily, we need to create a climate where jobs stay in this country. Whether it's additional tariffs on products that come in, whether it's inviting international companies to come to the United States to create jobs here, we need to make it attractive for employers to stay here or to bring jobs back.
The so-called super committee has until Thanksgiving to finish their deficit reduction plan. Are you confident that anything can actually come out of that with 6 Republicans and 6 Democrats?
I think that was quite a big ask from Congress. $1 trillion is a big number, and I'm not sure in that short period of time whether they're going to be able to come up with a program that's acceptable by both chambers.
You sit in kind of a unique seat as the Democrat in the mayor's office of the second largest city in a very strong Republican state. Is there any lesson that Washington could learn from looking to Fort Wayne?
Well, yeah, I think we have a similar environment. We have a Democratic president, and we have the chambers that right now are struggling with the Republican and the Democratic representation. I think it's imperative that our president take a real active leadership role. I think he needs to step up and simply say, this is the way it has to be. The two parties need to sit down and work this thing out. That's why we put you in Washington. Whether it's the President of the United States or our senators or our congressmen, we put you in Washington to represent the best that our country has to offer as far as legislators. Do your job.
For him to say that with the opposition, it seems there seems to be no agreement.
Sometimes there's great risk in being a leader. Sometimes it's great political risk. But you need to act as a leader. You need to stand up and say, this is the vision of this country. We know we're the greatest country in the world. We need to let the rest of the world know that, and we need to step up and do what we were hired to do.
Fort Wayne's role in Northeast Indiana, how do you view that as far as economic growth for the region?
I think the sheer fact that we created the Northeast Indiana Partnership, which is all the communities in Northeast Indiana working together to try to create a climate that makes us very competitive in an international market. I think we all know that Fort Wayne is the largest city in Northeast Indiana. The other communities, whether it be Kendallville or Bluffton or Columbia City, they're all a part of this, but Fort Wayne has to take the lead role. I think they're looking to us to help move them forward, and that's exactly what we're doing today.
How do you kind of balance everything between budgets, services, maybe dealing with less? What kind of a balancing act does local government face in this time?
I think you need to not only provide an environment that's inviting to jobs, but you also need to have a quality of life for those who want to call Fort Wayne home. We need to provide good basic services. If the economic picture itself doesn't do the job, then employers look for other things that a community has to make it attractive. And I think that's what a mayor needs to do, is be able to balance the financial aspects with the quality of life.